there, thanks for volunteering to help out with skills testing. We really appreciate it. I'm just going to do a quick run through of how to set up a lab shift and how to enter skills into the system. So as you can see, I'm already logged into FISDAP. You can see up here it says, "Hi Erin," so that's how we know that I'm logged in. If you're not already logged in, make sure to do that. And from here I'm going to go over to this tab here called Shifts, right here. And there I'm going to pick Skills and Patient Care. So I click that and it's going to load up, hopefully. Okay, and here's the tricky part. You need to ask one of the students in the class what their name is. In this case, I'm going to use our example student here, Joe Student. Okay. Now it pulls up Joe Student's shifts. You can see I actually already have one here. If there's already one here, we'll kind of come back to how to approach that in the second half of this. But we're going to actually add a shift. So we have one of the students in the class, and we've looked them up, and that's Joe Student, so I'm going to do plus lab shift. And this little quick add lab shift box will pop up. You can pick where you're at, so we're obviously at Temple College, and you can pick whether you're in Temple and Taylor. I'm going to pick Temple. I'm going to pick today's date, and then the start time here is going to be 17:30, and it's going to go for 5.5 hours. So I hit save. And it'll go through its process of saving and thinking, and now you can see right here it's added the shift. So I'm going to click on that. And it's loading, and you can see right here I've got lab practice items. It may pop down if you haven't logged in before. You may see this thing says lab goals. Go ahead and just click on this triangle and make that go away. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go plus lab partner, and this is how we're going to populate this screen with everybody else who's in the class. Hopefully the primary course instructor has set up a list of people in the class. So for example, I've set up a list, Temple EMT Fall 2013. That's my class right now. And I'm actually going to add all of them. So that's actually filtered it. So I'm going to close the filter here, and this is the list of people. So I'm going to select all of the people here, and I can actually do that very easily by selecting all, or I can pick none. So for now, I'm just going to pick one, although I recommend you select all, and then you hit OK. But let me show you what it does when I just pick one. So let me do it this way here. That's what I was going to pick. Okay. So I've got Joe Student, and now I've entered this person, Candelaria. I entered her in as well. If you enter all of them, all of the students are going to pop up here. And this is really great because this lets you, all you have to do when the student comes in to test is ask them what their name is. And then you go here, you go plus lab practice item. And you scroll through, and you can pick basically which practice item are we doing. Joe Student is listed as a paramedic, so right now he only has paramedic skills. So maybe I'm going to do cardiac pacing. So if I'm testing him cardiac pacing, I select PMed-1, cardiac pacing, and I click go. From here, the skills sheet pops up. You can see it lists the evaluator as me, the instructor, and the subject is student, is the Joe Student. You don't have to do anything to change it. If you remember, and we hope you do, enter a date, and then you come down here and you just have to select the appropriate numbers here, whether they did this step or didn't do this step. When you get down to the bottom, there's always a list of critical criteria. For example, failure to take PPE precautions, orders of dangerous or appropriate intervention. If you check one of these boxes, then this down here will come down and say failed. I'm going to go and uncheck it, and then I'll show you it shows passed. So this will give you the percentage of the points that they got. So all of these up here, scroll back down. Hopefully I'm not making you too sick with this. And then all you have to do is hit submit and close. And then it's going to close it. I'm going to close it here so it doesn't enter it. Now, Candy here is an EMT student, so you can see that the skills are labeled EMT. Unfortunately, they didn't turn up in order. I'm still working on a solution for that. But you can scroll through and find whichever skill you're trying to do. So maybe you're trying to do the small volume nebulizer, which is down here under medical, which is right here, EMT-18. And the same thing, you just hit go, and it pops up with the skill sheet. And then all you have to do is go through and it'll show you. And you know what, I tell you what, I will go ahead and enter this one. Let me enter this one for her. I'm going to hit submit and close. It already says 100% passed. We'll say she did. And I'm going to show you how it pops up. So it pops up, you can see here that I, the evaluator, Erin Lincoln, have given her a pass on this particular skill. If you hit do something by accident, you can just hit X there to remove it. So really easy to go through and do it. The other neat thing is if you have multiple instructors working, you can actually see as they populate. Basically, as the skills are entered, you can see who's entered the skill and if it was a pass or a fail. So hopefully that makes it make a little bit more sense. The next thing I'm going to do is go back and say you've already got a lab shift scheduled, right? So I've got this here. Maybe the instructor's already logged in. Maybe you're the second instructor in the classroom, so you're the second instructor in. You're going to go in and basically do the same thing. It pops up the same. You can add lab partner. You can either pick by name, or you can go and select by grouping and select all of them. And that's all there is to it. It's not too difficult. When we're done, you'll have to remind the students to go in and go ahead and lock their shift and make sure that they verify that all of their skills have been entered. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or send me an email. Thanks so much.